Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Hayya 'ala as-salah. Hayya 'ala as-salah. Hayya 'ala al-falah. Hayya 'ala al-falah. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. La ilaha illallah.
And alhamdulillah, nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruh wa na'udhu billahi min shururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina. Man yahdihillahu fala mudilla lahu wa man yudlil fala hadiya lahu. Wa ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan 'abduhu wa rasuluh. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. أما بعد فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. Verily all praise is due to Allah. We praise Him, seek His help and ask for His forgiveness. We seek refuge in Allah from the evil in ourselves and from our sinful deeds. Whosoever Allah guides, no one can mislead. And whosoever Allah allows to stray, no one can guide. And I bear witness that there's none worthy of worship except Allah. He is one, having no partners. And I bear witness that Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam is his servant and messenger. To proceed, verily the truest speech is the book of Allah. And the best guidance is the guidance of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And the worst of affairs are the newly invented matters in religion. And every newly invented matter in religion is a heresy. And every heresy leads us astray. And everything that leads us astray leads to the hellfire. With the few minutes that we have today, I would like to talk about a topic that is of immense importance. A topic that we have heard many, many times. A topic in which we are very proud of. However, I would like us to think about this topic very deeply today, because I think it is a topic, though we hear about it over and over again, and though we boast about this topic, I think in reality it is one that we struggle with. And that is brotherhood. As we know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, after saying, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, innamal mu'minuna ikhwa. Without doubt, indeed, surely all brothers, all the believers, all the Muslims are one brotherhood. A simple message. A message, like I said, we boast about, and it's explicit in Islam, that we're all one brotherhood. But if we reflect upon this, this is a tall order to treat every Muslim from around the world as a brother is something that is challenging. And as a matter of fact, this is really what I want us to think about today. That this is a challenge, and have I lived up to the challenge? This is something that we should be proud of. So many verses, and we're going to go over this. So many ahadith, and something that we are very proud of, especially in today's age in which we still, in 2015, hear so many statements in which people belittle other people, or they see themselves as better. But again, though we have heard so many khutbahs and so many lectures, today should be a little different. Today we want to reflect deeply and say, have I given this topic its due? Especially in light of the fact, as we're going to see, the Prophet ﷺ warned us that this topic takes quite a bit of effort, quite a bit of reflection and analysis to truly give it what it takes. And one of the first obstacles to having this brotherhood and this unity is one of the silliest things. Is a very silly concept that is still present today, and that is racism. That is one people thinking that they are better than the other. This superiority or inferiority, sometimes complex, still exists and is widely available today. We see even people who are billionaires who traveled the world are exposed to it. With the event of this Donald Sterling shocked the world to see how someone so privileged and someone who should know better is guilty of such a foolish thing. And we see even recently Hulk Hogan, an American hero, had to apologize for some racist statement that recently become known. And you can get into also politicians, people who are professors, people who are very learned. And a lot of the problems that we see in the world today, the conflict really revolves around superiority. Even the great controversy and problem in Israel, one of the problems is that there are people who think that they are better than others. I don't mean to delve into politics, but this is a reality that we as a people, even educated people, even here in America, in which we truly embrace diversity and value diversity, and we still struggle with this. So this is something that I think we should say we need to pay attention to this. Because also the Prophet ﷺ said in the authentic hadith collected by Imam Muslim, that we will struggle with this issue, this simple, silly issue, until the day of judgment. As the Prophet ﷺ said, there will be 4 things from Jahiliyyah, 4 things of ignorance, of the time, of the era of ignorance that will remain in my ummah. 2 of the 4 things deal with this concept. When he said that my ummah will struggle with this ta'n bil ansab wal fakhr bil ansab, that we will brag and boast on our lineage, that I'm from these people, this is my forefather, or what have you, and think that we are better. And we will belittle other people's lineages and background because we think that we are better. So this is scary. This should shake us up. We're not just saying, oh, those are non-believers, these are non-Muslim. The Prophet ﷺ said that we will struggle as an ummah. So that means all of us need to check ourselves. And we know that it's not just in the Western world, it's just not with the educated people, it's also in the East and with Muslims that we struggle severely. And I think we're very well aware of this fact. So this should grab our attention and say we have to really focus on brotherhood. And again, an obstacle to brotherhood is thinking that we are better, or some people are better than others. Likewise, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in the very beginning of the Quran about our creation, and that shaitan is an open, manifest enemy. He tells us one of the very first issues that we dealt with as a people, as human beings. After our creation, one of the very first issues that we addressed was this: I'm better than the other. SubhanAllah. You think that this is not an issue? Mankind first issue was this issue of quote-unquote racism, or thinking that one is better than the other. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَلَقَدْ خَلَقْنَاكُمْ ثُمَّ صَوَّرْنَاكُمْ ثُمَّ قُلْنَا لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ اسْجُدُوا لِآدَمَ فَسَجَدُوا إِلَّا إِبْلِيسَ لَمْ يَكُنْ مِنَ السَّاجِدِينَ قَالَ مَا مَنَعَكَ أَلَّا تَسْجُدَ إِذْ أَمَرْتُكَ قَالَ أَنَا خَيْرٌ مِّنْهُ خَلَقْتَنِي مِنْ نَارٍ وَخَلَقْتَهُ مِنْ طِينٍ. And we have certainly created you, O mankind. Allah is telling us about our creation. And we have certainly created you, O mankind, and given you human form. Then we said to the angel, prostrate to Adam. So they prostrated except for Iblis. He was not of those who prostrated. Allah said, what prevented you? And this is Iblis, who was so devout that he was with the angels. We know he was a jinn. But he was so devout that he was with the angel. But this issue destroyed him. And so this should bring our attention as well, and say that we need to be careful of arrogance, careful of saying that one is superior to the other. Anyway, he said, I am better than him. You created me from fire, and you created him from clay. We know the story. We've read it many, many times. So again, this issue of brotherhood is an important issue, and one of the obstacles is this superiority understanding or racism. Likewise, the Prophet ﷺ tells us that this would be something that we will struggle with. This was one of the first things that we encountered after our creation. And additionally, the Prophet ﷺ, during his farewell khutbah in the Hajj, in front of 100,000 plus, in the peak of Islam, the Prophet ﷺ, in the peak of Islam, the spread of Islam during the Prophet's life, the Prophet ﷺ delivered his farewell khutbah. And the Prophet ﷺ knew that he only had limited time. And one of the last messages that he gave to mankind, interesting, Hajj is known to be a place of amazing diversity. You see people from China, people from Russia, people from every country in South America and Africa, Europe, something that changed a man who was victimized by racism, changed him instantly, transformed him, meaning Malcolm X. So the Prophet ﷺ said during the Khutbah al-Wada', he gave us a message that said, all of mankind is from Adam. Simple. And we all know this, especially the more learned of us. All of mankind is from Adam and Eve. An Arab has no superiority over a non-Arab. And a non-Arab has no superiority over an Arab. A white has no superiority over a black, and vice versa. The only thing that makes one better than the other, the only differentiating factor is taqwa. This God consciousness, this piety is what makes a human better than another human. Now, should this not be something that we focus on? If this is the Prophet ﷺ, one of the Prophet ﷺ's last messages, and you know during the time of the Prophet ﷺ, they struggled with this, even the companions. This was something that was part of their society, meaning you had the Quraysh. Amongst the Quraysh who were looked at as better, even they had sub-tribes. The Hashemis were considered the best, and what have you. You had the Aus and Khadraj. You can't get any closer, but they were killing each other because of this silliness of racism, or it's one thinking that another is better. So again, we need to pay close attention to this in order that we have this brotherhood. So this is point number one, that I really want us to shake us up, because many times we say, oh yeah, there's no racism in Islam, which is true. It shouldn't be, and that, you know, alhamdulillah, we're so diverse, and there's just a Pew poll that came out that said even here in America, Islam, or Muslims are one of the most diverse people as a religion in general. So this is something great, but I think we have a lot more to do, and that this is great, meaning that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put a great burden on our shoulder. And this is the second point that I want to mention. What makes this, why do we struggle with something so simple, this innamal mu'minuna ikhwa, that we hear over and over again, that we're all brothers and we need one another, especially in this time here in America. Also because brotherhood, unity is a communal effort. You can't just say them people, those people, or this administration, the masjid leaders. Everybody have to work together. That's why. It's easy to say, find people fault, and they surely may have faults, but it takes a communal effort. Everyone must do his part, and that's really what we struggle with today. I know, even believe it or not, I have served as an imam and chaplain and a spiritual leader amongst for a long period of time, but rarely do I get invited to people's houses unless it's in a group. Okay, we have this this party going on, or I'm inviting my friends. Imam, come over. Just recently, maybe a year ago, there was a brother who I used to bump into every now and then in Houston and Dallas. I live in Dallas currently for the last 5 years. And he saw me one time and he said, brother, why don't you and your family come to visit me at my house? He's a brother from Pakistan. And unfortunately, I was taken aback. I was like, wow, I mean, you're inviting me to your house? I mean, what's the occasion? Do you need something? Or he said, yeah, I just see you, come over. And my family had a blast. And I point this out because I should have been the one inviting him. If I'm, quote unquote, the imam and what have you, I should have been the one who was quicker than he was. But I think we struggle with that. And we need to ask each other, how many times have we had, if we're from this ethnic group, we had a brother from this ethnic group over our house? How many times have we just went out to get tea or coffee or whatever, or made a conscious effort? I think, wallahu alam, that we struggle with it. Sometimes we even struggle with our own countryman who's from another tribe, who speaks another dialect, from what I've seen and witnessed. So this is something that I put myself on the line and say that I have to do better, and I think that we all do if we really want to live up to that and stand up and raise up to the bar that Allah has set for us. This innamal mu'minuna ikhwa. And remember the hadith, the authentic hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, when he told us that there was a man who went to visit another man in a village. And so an angel was sent in the form of a human being to address this man. So an angel said, "Where are you going?" He said, "I'm going to visit my brother in faith and so village." Did you do him a favor? Basically, are you trying to get, a debt repaid or something? Are you trying to get something from him? He said, "No, I'm just visiting him for the sake of Allah." And the angel said, "I am a messenger from Allah, sent to you to tell you that Allah loves you for the sake of you loving this brother for the sake of Allah, for his sake," basically. Powerful. So this is something that Allah values, something that we must struggle with, that Allah sent an angel to tell this man that just because you love this person, who obviously from another village, who may have even spoken another language, you went and spent time to visit him, this is something great. Allah, the Creator, sent a man, an angel in the form of a man, a messenger, to tell him that Allah loves him for that act. And this is recorded for us to understand how much Allah loves this, and to understand that we have to go out of our way to create this unity, to create this brotherhood, and ask ourselves, what have I done? Not what has these people, or what has, the elders or whatever the leaders done. What have I done to really show and manifest the brotherhood in Islam? Just a couple other points, and then inshallah we will close for the first part of the khutbah, just to really emphasize how important of a thing this is. And again, I know we hear this over and over again, but I think we just never really say, am I doing enough? Or I think we never really realize that we struggle to live up to this task. And I just want us to shape myself, first of all, to show us how important of an issue this is. This Muslim ummah. Ummah is a powerful concept in Islam. It is something, of course, that unites us. This unity, this brotherhood. Innamal mu'minuna ikhwa is a powerful verse that we've read and heard and may have said many times, but have we really reflected upon it? And more important, have we really lived it out? The Prophet ﷺ says, another thing that makes us strong, should make us reflect, a hadith that you've probably heard literally, maybe 1,000 times. And that is, لا يؤمن أحدكم حتى يحب لأخيه ما يحب لنفسه. You do not truly believe. Allah's Messenger ﷺ is linking your iman, the essence of what you are. You do not truly believe. You're incomplete in your Islam until you love for your brother what you love for yourself. We've heard it, but have we really reflected how difficult that is? I mean, many of you, this is the first time meeting me. You should love the khair for me the way you love it for your family, the way you love it for your brother, the way you love it for yourself. That's not easy. That's very difficult. And I know my brother just visited me after 2 years, and we spent plenty of money taking him and he saw his nephews and nieces, so he was very happy. And we didn't have a problem. And if our brother, Allah forbid, is, having an operation or going through some difficulty, we will send him our last dime and have no problem with it, and won't complain, and won't even look at it. That's the way we should be with every single individual here in this masjid and in the 1+ billion Muslims in the world. That is something that takes some work. That is something that takes some dua. That is something that takes some reflection. And this is what Islam is all about. This is what we boast and brag about. But we have to walk the walk. And so we need to talk about this topic even more. A fundamental topic from the very beginning of the Quran. This is talked about, and this is who we are, and Allah is telling us you don't truly believe. And yet another hadith, the Prophet ﷺ says, and this is even scarier, لا تدخلوا الجنة حتى تؤمنوا. You will not enter paradise until you have iman. You will not enter this place that you're here because you want paradise. You're here because you want this land of fantasy in which we are told, and the majority of mankind believes in it, that you can have whatever you want. There's no worry, no stress, no extreme heat, none of that. You have your wishes come true. Your dreams come true. Your wishes are granted. Your fantasies become reality. This place, this is why we're here today. And Allah's Messenger said, "La tadkhulul jannata hatta tu'minu." And you will not get it until you have iman. No doubt, this is a psychological, powerful speech. You will not get it until you have faith. وَلَا تُؤْمِنُوا حَتَّى تَحَابُّوا. And look at this. And you will not have faith. You will not be a true Muslim until you love one another, until you're concerned about one another. If that doesn't shake you up, and this is an authentic hadith, every hadith, this is mentioned in Bukhari. And the other hadith, likewise, we mentioned Muslim and Bukhari. I mean, these are hadith that we've heard of, hadith that really should shake us up. But then the tone of the hadith changes. أَلَا أَدُلُّكُمْ عَلَى شَيْئًا إِنْ فَعَلْتُمُوهُ تَحَابَبْتُمْ. Should I not tell you something that if you were to do it, it will create this love between that you need to enter paradise? Afshu salam. Spread the salam. So even just giving salam and smiling and concerned about how you greet a brother, and I'm sure some of you, your days have been brightened. I know mine's. You woke up a little grumpy and just brother smiling in your face, whatever, and may have did something and it changed your perspective of for a while at least, you know. So we shouldn't belittle that. And this is the beauty of Islam, that Allah is not asking from you to so much. He's only asking from you effort. If we just did that, we would be successful. One last point before we close for the first part of the khutbah. The Prophet ﷺ also said, and this is hadith collected in Sahih Sahih Bukhari, there are three things that if you were to do them, if you were to have them, you will taste the sweetness of iman. And this is what we want. We don't just want to fast because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us we fast. We don't want to just come here. And some of us, we're at that level. Sometimes we struggle. We come and maybe late or whatever just because we have to come. One brother was even telling me, and it really stuck with me. It's like, yeah, I came to the Jum'ah. I prayed at this masjid. I had to discharge my phone. The way he mentioned it, basically I had to do what Allah told me to do. But in reality, that is excellent. Don't get me wrong. That's a level that some of us struggle with. But we want to get to the level in which the Prophet tells us that he used to yearn for Ramadan. He used to wait from one salah to another salah. It wasn't looked as a burden. He used to enjoy the ibadah. And many of us, I think, we struggle with it. We obey. We say, I hear and I obey. But we sometimes are not at that top level. We don't have this ihsan. We constantly, a Muslim is trying to improve and to progress. This is what Ramadan is all about. You should come out of Ramadan, even if it's your 50th Ramadan, a better Abdullah, a better Aisha. That's the way we look at life. I mean, that's the way we look at athletes. That's the way we look at our seniors in work. That's the way we look at ibadah. Also, that if you go through this, it should be transformational. So anyway, the Prophet said you will taste the sweetness of iman if, one, that Allah and His Messenger be more beloved to Him than anything else. Two, that you love, that He loves a person for no other reason than for the sake of Allah. This thing, that you really feel this akhuwa, you really feel this innamal mu'minuna ikhwa, that you love someone. He's not a relative, he doesn't speak your language, he's nothing to give to you, but you love him just because he is a Muslim. This is number two. And the third one, and he hates to go back to disbelief as he hates to be thrown into the hellfire. If we do these three things, one of these three components, one of the component of the equation is that we learn and that we are part, and that we learn and implement this ukhuwah. May Allah allow us to truly understand the importance of brotherhood and allow us to really act towards each other as brother. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man wala. Just to quickly recap, because we've run out of time. As I mentioned, we mentioned a verse in which we're very, very familiar with, in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and this is a powerful verse and it has much more we can mention, but anyway, it says, part of the verse says, إِنَّمَا الْمُؤْمِنُونَ إِخْوَةً, that undoubtedly believers are nothing but one brotherhood. And that's something that we're very proud of. But we have to act that way. And we mentioned that we are susceptible to thinking that we're better than others. We are susceptible to not really living up to this. And we said this is part of what it means to be a Muslim, is that you love for your brother what you love for yourself. You treat everyone like a brother. This is a tall order. This is something that we need to be reflecting upon Jumu'ah after Jumu'ah, day after day, something that we need to tell our families, and we need to do some action item, even starting today. You know, maybe next week I'll invite so-and-so, you know, over to my house, or I'll do this, or I will take some effort to act as if I'm truly a brother. I'll take some effort to act like I am really a community member of the Tyler Masjid. And I will reflect the diversity that is manifested in this room. And others too. I will give the room for these people. I'll give the room for these people. There's no superiority over others. Simple, simple message, but no doubt, and we know it very well, we struggle with it. So again, may Allah truly allow us to understand the importance of إِنَّمَا الْمُؤْمِنُونَ إِخْوَةً, and may Allah allow us to act upon this and to treat everyone as if they're brothers and to complete our iman. عباد الله إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم أعز الإسلام والمسلمين وأذل الشرك والمشركين ربنا اغفر لنا ولإخواننا الذين سبقونا بالإيمان ولا تجعل في قلوبنا غلا للذين آمنوا ربنا إنك رؤوف رحيم ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين وأقم الصلاة